Okay. So welcome everyone for joining with us today. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone. And today we have the pleasure to have Mr. Romi, the leader 6812-8 to joining with us today. And Avi or Dami will be the MC for our session today. So
Mm.
yeah, welcome everyone and thank you, Avi, for starting the meeting.
All right. Thank you. So I will start off by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. First of all, I would like to say a sincere thank you for taking the time to be here today. No matter where you're joining from around the world, we're truly grateful for your presence and delighted to have you here with us. My name is Dami, just like the host has said, and I'm privileged to be your MC. Today's session is titled Making History: How Ordinary People Create Extraordinary Legacies. I believe that's a title that speaks to each and every one of us because at some point in life, we've all wondered if there is more freedom, more purpose, more time with the people we love, more opportunities to leave something meaningful behind. The truth is, history is rarely made by people who were born extraordinary. More often than not, it's made by ordinary people who were willing to make one extraordinary decision, a decision to step outside their comfort zone, embrace a new opportunity, and commit to building a better future, not just for themselves, but for generations to come. Tonight is about exploring what is possible. It's about learning from someone who has walked that journey, someone who started where many of us have started, with dreams, with questions, and a willingness to learn, and went on to achieve extraordinary success. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce our special guest today. He has achieved the highest distributor rank within the Enagic business, reaching the remarkable level of 682-8, or in his case, I
Mm.
would say 6812-8. That is no
Wow.
small feat. Yes.
Mm-mm.
His
Wow.
journey is a powerful example. Shh, go, 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 go. Sorry, please. I am so sorry for that. I think he's high on something. I don't know what it is. His journey is a powerful example of what is possible through vision, consistency, resilience, and a commitment to serving others. Over the years, he has inspired countless individuals around the world to dream bigger, think differently, and build lasting legacies for their families. Today, he has graciously agreed to share his journey, his insights, and the principles that has helped him reach the very highest level of this business. So I encourage everyone to stay fully present and listen with an open mind. The ideas you hear today might just change the way you think about your future. And without further delay, please join me in giving a very
Oh my
warm,
God.
cool welcome to our special guest, Mr. Romi Verdera. Come on, let's
Thank,
give it up for Mr. Romi here.
thank you. Thank
Welcome.
you. Now
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
I have a question.
Uh,
Are we all distributors or are there people who are not distributors? We're all distributors?
I think most of us
Mm.
are.
Oh,
Most of
okay,
us
okay. That's
are.
good. Because then I can talk freely because sometimes there are
Absolutely.
things that we cannot say. So I can say anything, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, please, Mr.
We're all
Rami.
distributors. Okay, okay.
And of
Because
course, the floor is
Mhm.
going to be absolutely yours. But
Mm.
I want
Okay.
you to take us to the very beginning, and tell us who Mr. Rami is, Mr. Rami's background, and I'm talking background in terms of family and in terms of career. And the reason why I want us to go to the very beginning to see who you really are, even before all this fame and success, is
Mhm.
this. A lot of people, when they hear people are successful, what they usually think is, oh, the person must have had something extraordinary, something special that is going on for them. And they find that person not relatable. So they always feel like, oh, the only reason he's success is because his dad is rich, or maybe his dad gave him a trust fund, or maybe he went to the best university, he went to like Yale or Oxford, things like that. We always want to find a reason to justify that other person's success, and then we detach or remove ourselves from that story that, oh, our background is totally different. So yeah, I don't
Mhm.
see myself getting to where that person is. So I want you to go to the beginning so that people can see themselves in your journey and know that you don't have anything extraordinary that makes them not be able to achieve what you've achieved. And that doesn't mean you're not special because everybody is unique and special. But I want people to be able to relate with you every step of the way so that they can see that whatever excuse that we've had as a crutch that is limiting our beliefs or limiting our success is no excuse at all. Because if they can see you or see themselves in you, in your journey, then they can know that if you can achieve this, then nothing is stopping them. So, with that said, we give the floor completely over to you. Take it away, Mr. Rami.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go all the way back when I was younger, actually, so you could see how I'm just like everybody else, you know. I grew up in a poor family in the Philippines. My parents did not go to college, you know. My father was a waiter in a restaurant. My mom never worked. Uh, so my father just made enough money to bring food in the table. We had no television, no car, no nothing, not even a bicycle when I was young. So we live in a rural area. My grandfather was a farmer. I grew up with my grandfather. I went to public school. And then I was able to go to college with the help of benefactors, which are my mom's friends who could share enough money so I could go to college, you know. And then I met my wife, who happened to be daughter of an American citizen in the Philippines. My father-in-law was in the U.S. Navy. He's Filipino. That's how we were able to go to the United States. So when I got to the United States, I could not get a good job because my college education was liberal arts, philosophy. There's no job for that in America. Most Filipinos who come to America are either nurses or doctors in the medical field, you know. And I had no, I would say, any career background. When I came to America, I was 22 years old. So I sold donuts at the Dunkin' Donuts, you know. And then I was a filing clerk in an office filing papers. And I was 28-year old. I attended a meeting. I was invited to a business meeting. And I live in a small apartment in Brooklyn, one bedroom apartment. I already had two kids. And they told me
Like people like that,
to
they what was that?
listen to this opportunity meeting where you can learn how to sell and make money, extra money. And in the beginning, I didn't even want to attend. I said, no, I'm so tired working like whole day, and then I have a part-time selling donuts, you know, and I just want to go home, sleep, and I don't care about business at the time. And then when I attended one time, I saw on the stage people who are making a lot of money doing network marketing. And that blew my mind. I said, oh my gosh, there's another way of like life or another way of making money. So I asked them, what do I have to do to be one of those guys on the stage or making a lot of money, you know, doing sales? And they said, oh, you have to read books, listen to tapes. At the time, we have to listen to the actual audio tape, you know, and learn self-development. That's where I start becoming a believer in self-development. That's very, very important. I listened to Anthony Robbins and Jim Rohn and read the book Think and Grow Rich and Michael Maxwell and Armandino and all these inspirational, motivational people. Okay, but then I lasted 3 months in that company. Like I just couldn't sell. But I believe that it works because there are people who are doing it. I said to myself, And I was 29 years old. I said to myself, if I could build an organization, uh, and I became a believer in this. If you get five people and they get five people, it becomes 25. And those 25 get five people, becomes 125, and then 625 and 3,000. And I believe in that idea that I could start a group and recruit and learn how to recruit and build an organization. And I was 29 years old. So I moved to another company, a nutritional company. And then I learned more from that company. And for the next 20 years, from the time I was 29 old, I actually quit my job. I said, I don't want to work anymore. I just want to go into becoming an entrepreneur, building a network. And for the next 20 years, trial and error, I would build, I would lose, I would build, I would lose. Until 20 years later, I found this company where we are. And in this company, I've been around for 20 years. So I've been doing business 40 years now. 20 was my learning curve, trial and error, and the next 20 in this company. Today in this company, I have about 2.4 million distributors all over the world. We have 40 offices around the world, and my dream came true. My dream came true. I'm the top distributors in this company that you recruit and they recruited. I didn't even I did not even strategize on how to build the group in this company because when I joined, the company was so small. I don't see anybody like so successful. The one that was very successful was a Japanese lady I saw on the stage, and her name is Miss Ishii. I see her now, even when I was in Japan last week. Like she know that she's my mentor, and I look up to her and I wanted to be like her. And 20 years ago, this Japanese lady was on the stage. She was a younger lady then. That was 20 years ago. And she was a 6A14-4. And I said to myself, if this lady on the stage could do it, this Japanese lady, maybe I can do it too. And I did. I did. I make it to 6A12-8 today. That's the highest rank in the whole company. 6A12-8. So I just put people that I sponsor directly underneath me, and it just grew from there. No strategy. And out of the 12, two of the legs started growing so big, and that brought me to the dash 8 today because those two legs. So out of the 12, the other 10 legs grew also, but not as big as those two legs, you know. Today, different people have different strategies. I have so many different groups now. I have the Canadian group who are onliner. I have the old timer group who's still doing the business the old way. And then there's more onliner groups now. I've got the Australian group, the New Zealand group, and then we have the Malaysian and the Vietnamese and the Indian, and they're all my downline, almost the whole company. Because when I joined, only the Japanese was doing this business. So the only English speaking people 20 years ago when I joined was my friend JB, who is in the Philippines now, and myself. I remember attending a meeting, they're all Japanese. The meeting was in Japanese, you know. And I didn't know much. All I knew is this company is good because because I heard from the people who are drinking the water at the time 20 years ago, and I heard from the distributors who are making money, and I said 20 years ago, this is what I want to do. Like I had nothing else to do anyway at that time. You know, I was jobless. I had no business. My wife was about to lose her job here in New York. I'm about to lose my house to foreclosure. I don't even have money for the down payment for the machine. At the time, thank God, there was a financing where 20 years ago there was no big down payment. You just do the monthly payment for the next like 2 years, you know. So I have a credit card I could use to buy. I mean, to buy in and make my first monthly payment. And I said to myself, I have to make sales because I have no money to pay for the next payment next month. So I did it, and now The advantage I had was I have sales background, so I knew already how to do presentations, how to talk to people, how to motivate people. Those 20 years of joining different network marketing company really developed in me some selling and sponsoring skills the old way, okay? So 20 years ago when I joined, it was easier for me to start because I knew some people that worked with me in those other companies and I brought them into this company. Okay, so we all start at a different level, I would say, of skill. Now, I found after all these years that the your success will depend on two things: your mindset and your skill set. By mindset, I mean your your motivation, okay? I mean your perception of the world, like how do you want to live? I know right from the start in this company, after being with different companies, I know I never want to work a regular job. Okay, I would do anything. I would sell anything as long as don't put me back on a desk and work a job, and earn a paycheck. No. I want that idea of unlimited income that if I could figure out how to do it, I could make a whole lot more money. So so after 20 years with those other companies, I have seen successful people who have made it in different companies, who have made millions of dollars. So right from the start of this company, it was built in on me already. I wanted to make millions. I wanted to be a millionaire. Multi-millionaire. So before I joined this company, although I was broke, I knew it could be done. Okay. So now 20 years later, I I must have built and bought about 12 houses already. And I have a house here in New York, beautiful house in Staten Island by the ocean. I got boats and everything, and I look at the ocean overlooking Atlantic City. And then when winter comes, I have a house in the Philippines also because it's warmer day there. So around January, after New Year, February, March, my wife and I have two sons. Okay, we're about to celebrate our 50th wedding anniversary. My wife and I in 2028, in 2 more years. 50th wedding. I was 22, she was 18 when we got married, and we have two sons. They're both married, and I got 7 grandchildren between my two sons. And what we do normally is in January, February, March, we go home to the Philippines also because it's warmer in the Philippines. I don't like the cold weather in New York anymore. So that's one of the benefits of this business, lifestyle. I remember there was this inspirational speaker, Jim Rohn. You might want to follow Jim Rohn. Actually, when I was younger, I used to buy videotapes and audio tapes. It's very expensive from these people. Jim Rohn, Anthony Robbins. Now you can watch them on YouTube for free. They're all there. So what I used to spend a lot of money to educate myself and self-develop, now it's free on YouTube. So you used to go home to the Philippines, but then when pandemic came, we cannot go home to the Philippines. So I bought another beautiful house in Florida, also by the oceanfront house. And I have a couple of boats there, and I just enjoy boating. I love the ocean. Actually, after our Zoom, I'm gonna go out on the ocean again. I do it every afternoon and watch the sunset. It's beautiful. I could boat from my house all the way to Statue of Liberty, and then in New York City, that's like half an hour away on the water from my house. It's fun because you're on your own motorboat, and you wave at the tourists. I'm just telling you the lifestyle of what my wife and I, we travel so much
That is
every
amazing.
all the time. We go back and forth to Asia. Like I just came back from Japan. The good thing is when you make it in this business, we even have, for instance, the EAP8 where you get some travel allowance. So I always fly. Me and my wife, we always fly we always fly business class. We don't
Hmm.
care. 15,000, 20,000 each flight, that's okay.
Awesome.
uh, I cannot fly coach anymore. I have to fly business class where you have your own bed and you get good food
You
and
get used to such
champagne.
lifestyles easily.
Yeah, next week we're gonna fly to London and then Paris and then back. And then after that, we fly to Istanbul. We're gonna go on a cruise. We like going on a cruise. On a 10-day cruise. And then I go to the Philippines October 16th, middle of October. And then I go to California. And then I go to Italy. I mean, for the rest
Hmm.
of the year, I have so many trips. And it's beautiful because what happens is your organization grows. What I do now actually is just like be an inspiration to many of the distributors. Like what I'm doing now, I tell the
Hmm.
story in a big crowd. I don't know how many thousands there were last week in Okinawa. For instance, the Okinawa, I love going to Okinawa every year. We go there around March. Uh 20 years ago, my first trip there, I brought in about 10 people to Okinawa. And those are the leaders when I started 20 years ago. And the following year, and then the next year, those 10 people became 50, became 100, became 500, became 1,000. The biggest trip in Okinawa we did was 2 years ago. We had we had to do the event in the stadium because there were 8,000 people from all over the world flew to Okinawa, and
Wow.
they're all my downline. I was so happy.
That is incredible.
Could you
That is
imagine
incredible.
having a whole
8,000. Oh,
stadium
wow.
and
Okay.
everybody in the stadium are your distributors?
That is
Like I
incredible.
could believe it. It was a shock. But 20 years ago when I started, like I said, I already have some sales experience. I learned that if you want to really build fast, you have to compress your time. That's why on my first 90 days, 3 months, I became a 6A. I was doing it the old time way, doing the demo, going to people's homes, making a phone call. I want to show you something. The one once they purchase and they're still excited, then you tell them to invite other people because now they're still hot. They just learned about the compensation plan and the product, and they're hot and they invite people, and then you do it again and you just keep on doing it. The faster you do it, the better. So I had my 90-day story of how I did it fast, and then that story brought me a long way. People started coming in because you have a good start story, but you don't have to have everybody have their own level. Like I said, some takes half a year, some takes a year to become a 6A, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. It doesn't matter because you never know when in the lifetime of your business somebody comes in and who is good and builds you up. Like I have seen people who who all of a sudden somebody comes in and just builds up. Like I have a friend, for instance, from Chicago, who became a 6A and then all the way to Dust 3. And then all of a sudden, some good guy who knows how to do online marketing went underneath him and goes all the way up to Dust 7. So although he is a Dust 3, he is a Dust 7 downline who's got a whole group, and he still makes override on that whole organization. So it doesn't matter if your distributor underneath you goes up in rank, you still get paid. You just try to like move up too, and you try to create another leg to keep up. Okay, so I became a 6A in 9 months. Uh, like I said, I've been in the business about 20 years now. The first 10 years, we were doing the business the old time way. Okay, the old time way, I mean, we call the people prospects. We start with friends and relatives, and then their circle of influence, and it grows from there. So that's the traditional old time way. After 10 years, so I started 2006, around 2016, the internet is starting to warm up, and some people are learning how to do business on the internet, the younger generation of people. And some of them became good with selling other things. And then they joined our company, especially during the pandemic. They needed something to sell, and nobody could do face to face selling. So a lot of them joined our company in my organization, in my downline. We call them the online marketers now. They're younger. They're like hungry. They're learners. It reminds me of how when I was younger, when I myself was 29, 30-year old, and I was really gung ho and like on making a success. So you have the younger generation who are doing the online marketing now. Okay, so I have different teams of the old time way, the old time distributors, and then I have different teams of the onliners. Now the onliners, they create their own system. Like we have the Australia group, they have their own system, the Total Freedom Era, and then we have the Canadian group in Canada. We have this group called the Dream Teams. They have their own system, and then with the Online Empire and different groups, different teams. They have their own online system. The thing is, you cannot go into their group and into their online system unless you belong to their group. Now, there are online groups where they allow you to come in and use their system even if you're not part of their system. Okay, now I can see from the group here, we are a merge of the young and the middle and the old generation. Okay, I want you to be aware. If you're staying, I know I really encourage you stay with this company. My 20 years, I started with this company. I was already 50 years old. 50. I'm 70 now. Maybe I still look young because I drink Kangen water. But Mr. O, after 20 years, we started the same. He's 10, 15 years older than me. He still looks young. He looks younger than me, Mr. O. Maybe he drinks more water than me. And he's still strong. He's 86 years old, Mr. O. So I hope when I become 86, I still gonna be like him. He still drinks sake and he dances and he plays golf and he travels around the world and he have fun at the convention in our meetings. Mr. O at 86 years old. He's like a young kid. He said he's gonna live up to 120. Anyway, what I'm saying is stick with this company because like I said, the best years of my life is here in this company. I tell you how good I feel with this company because I'm a Dash 8 now. I fly to Okinawa. I stay usually at a hotel near the airport because I want to be able to go home quick, and go out. Around the airport, you have the malls and all the restaurants that you can go to. Our office is an hour away in Nago. It's a quieter place in Okinawa. So it's an hour away. But like when I go to Okinawa, they pick me up with a limousine from the airport and drive me to the meeting. I love it. So you want to go up in rank because you have all the privileges. Like I don't get tired traveling because I go to the airport. You could go in at the in like the VIP lounges at the airport because you have the Mastercard. You could go in with it, and you're flying business class. So the airline have a lounge where they got everything. They got food and drinks and shower, and you can hang out there. I even go to the airport earlier so I could enjoy the lounge. And then you fly, you can sleep like like when was it? 3, 4 days ago, I flew back from Japan, back here in New York. And I left there about 6 o'clock at night. And then it was evening, so we had dinner, and then we have breakfast, and then I wake up. I came out of the airport, and I see the sun going down. It's orange, the sun, you know. So, but then I was confused. I said, "Wait a minute! I had breakfast. Is it morning, or is the sun going down, or is it going up?" You know. I found out the sun was going down. You know. So I went home. It was evening again.
That is interesting.
Because I just
I mean,
left.
it's easy to
Uh,
get used to such fun lifestyles, especially
yeah,
when you're
it's fun
not worried
lifestyle. It's
about a
fun
nine to
lifestyle.
five and the money is coming in surplus. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
very
money,
easy.
money comes in, and it's good once you have an organization. The
Mm,
the the organization, if you're able to build it really big and go at a higher rank, it starts to come to a point where it have a life of its own. Like it's
exactly.
even independent of you. Like it's now
Yep.
it's growing independent of whatever they do. I don't have to do anything. It just will just grow. I just run around still motivating everybody because I'm at a point now where I just want to help everybody go up in rank. You know,
Mm,
it's a good feeling when I hear people when I go to the events and they would say, Romy, when I first joined, I was just a 1A or a 3A or a 5A. I hear you on the stage. Now I'm a DAS 4 and DAS 5, you know, DAS 3. It feels so good to hear people say that their life changed because they heard you and they saw you
mhm,
and they were inspired by what you said, you know. So
mhm,
a whole lot of leaders now are leaders because they were inspired from hearing me many years ago. At the same
mhm,
same thing, when I was younger, like I saw those successful people like Miss Ishii, the Japanese lady. Every time there's a convention, I see Miss Ishii. She doesn't speak English, but then as soon as our eyes meet, we would hug and we would like laugh, you know, because I became what I am because of me seeing her. Even though she doesn't speak English, she knew I wanted to become like her, you know. It feels good because you change somebody's lives just by picking up that energy and that dream. Okay, now uh, we will go to question and answer, but I want to end with this.
yeah,
Okay, this is the big picture. We entered business, the big picture, and this is not just our company. This is the whole world. Okay, there was a time when marketing, sales and marketing, like I said, was done the old fashioned way, the traditional way of marketing. Okay. The way you make a lot of money is there are always products being produced that needed to be distributed to the world. And that's where we come in. We distribute the products that our company manufactures. When I started, it was just the water ionizer. And then we had the other products. Now we have the M Guard, and then we have the nutritional product, the Ukon, and then we just came up last week with the beauty products. Beauty products that's good. And then we have the Wagyu. Actually, I've been eating Wagyu all the time because I ordered the Wagyu. We got steak and hamburgers and hot dogs. I learned all kinds of different ways to cook them. But we have so many products now, okay? And our compensation plan is so different because I spoke to the other onliner leaders and they told me, Romy, the business model that we have, our online system is not gonna work for other companies and other products because the reason why it works with us is because we have high ticket products. And even if you use money to advertise, you make one sale and your money goes back. With other companies selling smaller products, it's not gonna work. You advertise, you lose money, and then when you sell a little thing and you make little money. It's not gonna work with them. Okay, so with our company now, I want to end up with this. Like I said, you have to look at the future, okay? Because, like I said, first 10 years, the old way, it can still be done now. I still have a lot of groups doing it, okay? But then more than half of the whole company is being done online now. They don't even like, I was doing a meeting in New York City, and this one Filipina girl came and saw me doing the demo. This was years ago. And he said, Romy, this is the first time I saw a demo. I said, how did you become a 6A? And she said, online. I'm telling you, I was in Okinawa. We were in the whole bus. Okay, I was sitting at the front, and there was a young lady next to me, and she does the business online. And we spoke for a whole hour because I wanted to know how their group does it online. And she told me she just saw an advertising on Facebook. You can make money online. And in the beginning, she doesn't know if it's gonna work for her. But then she joined, and that was a year ago. She's a 6A now. And she was in Okinawa last week, doing it online. Okay, what we I would say older distributors used to call prospects, which is the circle of influence, friends and relatives. They said they don't even call their friends and relatives. They use social media, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. That's where they get what they call leads. Okay, we the old way, we call them prospects. You call them, you do demo, and we're limited because when I was starting 20 years ago, I could only do the most 3 demo in a day, and that's how I became 6A in 90 days, 3 months. I was doing 3 demo a day, every day. Okay. Now them, the onliner, no, they're gonna get they're gonna get 50, 100 leads in one day from their social media account, from their TikTok and Instagram and Facebook. Now, how do you do it? You create a video, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute video, and there's a framework. The framework is what were you? You don't even mention the company. What was I before, and then how did I join the business, and then what happened after I joined the business, and you tell that story in 1 to 2 minutes. Post it on Facebook. You do it every day. Okay, you make different versions of that. So usually it becomes like this. I am a nurse, and I'm so tired at the hospital, and I just want to have something to do, and I saw this advertisement to make money online. Okay, and that's how I joined. Like, I tried, I purchased my machine, and then what happened? Well, I quit. I'm not a nurse anymore. I have so many downlines who quit nursing because this is a better way. I even had a couple of months ago here in my house a young lady, and she said she's about to become 2-2 in a little over a year. And I asked her, how did you find the business? I saw it online from a Canadian lady, and then she got in, and she said, so I said, what did you do before? I'm in the medical field. I'm a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I quit. I tell my other doctor friends, this is the way to go. You're wasting your time being doctors. She made 6 figure in less than a week.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
in less than a year, in 1 month. Now, how far can you go with this company? Like I said, I'm on my 20th year. I'm a 6812-8. When I got promoted last February, so March was, I'm a dash 8. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, my first, don't post this on the internet, my first $1 million month income
Oh, wow. That is
in this
incredibly
company.
Hey,
amazing.
wow.
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked in my whole life. Never made that kind of money in 1 month.
Wow.
Uh, I'm telling you, this is a dream come true. It is real. This opportunity we sell since I started 20 years ago. It's just like going up and up and up and up, up and up. this business, and it has given a good life for me and my children, and it has created a legacy. I donate a lot to charities because after a while, I mean, you can only spend so much, you know. Like I already have my waterfront house here in New York, another waterfront house in Florida, oceanfront house. I have my house in the Philippines. I built houses for my relatives and my siblings. I got 3 siblings, and I have donated funds to about uh, I must have built about 10 churches in the Philippines. I fund the building of the churches. I fund the building of seminaries. Because when I was younger, I wanted to be a priest. And I did not become a priest. So now I help the seminaries and the religious congregation. And I'm an online evangelist. Through the online way, I learned how to evangelize online. I have a YouTube channel that have over 10 million subscribers. I get 500,000 views every day, every day. You know, it could be done. It could be learned the online way. Now, so we have the traditional way, and then we have the online way. Starting this year, 2026, we are entering a new era called the AI era. And the AI will magnify everybody's, I would say, capacity and capability to do business, including marketing,
Mm.
including marketing.
Yes.
So I want you to pay attention, watch some YouTube videos about how you use AI. You use Chat GPT and Claude and Gemini, things like those. You can ask them everything about how to market. It will teach you. Okay, so now there are three, I would say, different age groups and different way of doing business. We have again the old time. The youngest generation is from 20 to 35 years old. They're the ones who were born with a cell phone, and they can build a business using cell phone and an iPad and a laptop. 20 to 35 years old. The 35 years old to 50, like I started when I was 50, they're like kind of hybrid. I mean, they know how to use email and Zoom like this and some tools, but they're kind of a little bit behind. I would say 35 to 50. Okay, a little bit behind when it comes to what these younger people, they're used to doing selfie videos just for fun, to post in TikTok and Instagram just to have fun. You convert that skill into making videos for their business, and they become good. The younger ones, they like to do videos. It's built in them already. And then I would say the 50s and above or 60s and above, like the senior ones, a lot of us are really handicapped. We don't even know what. A lot of them don't even know what to press. You tell them, oh, you could do online, blah, 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 use this app, and they don't even know how to download an app. They still do the. What I'm saying is, you have to adapt and learn. Okay, I'm telling you. Okay, and I'm gonna end up with this. I have a sister-in-law. She was here earlier, who worked for 30 years for a company, and her job was she's like a customer service for salespeople in that company for 30 years. She knows the computers. She loves to talk to people all day long. She talks to people because she deals with customers and salespeople every day. And she retired. And I thought I just bought her a computer, a laptop, because the computer she was using is from her company. I said, no, I'm going to buy you a MacBook Pro. I'm going to enroll you into this business. I'm going to teach you everything I know. You'll be my guinea pig. I'm going to make you a millionaire. She's 65 years old. I know she can do it. You know why I know she could do it? Because she knows how to use the computer. Okay, and she loves talking to people. That's the skill that most people lack, why they don't make it in the business. Talking to people. This 65-year-old sister-in-law of mine, she loves talking to people all day long. If I could teach her the online way and she'll have to talk to people, she could get a whole lot of people
Mm.
because she's got to be willing to talk to leads. I honestly, I myself is even lazy to talk to people. I mean now I used to like talk a lot, but I have become comfortable. But you have to talk to people every day. Okay, and thank you so much.
Thank you so
Question
much,
time.
Mr. Romy. That is amazing and incredible. And I know you said an awful lot. Can we please celebrate Mr. Romy here? Let's just give him a celebration. Let's show him some love, much love. I mean, you have compressed an awful lot in that short, you know, story or history about where you started from and where you are currently. And I'm sure a lot of us are listening attentively. And I picked out a few things. I know there's an awful lot. If we sit down to dissect all that you have said, we'll probably have another hour going over the points that you have mentioned. But of course, we want to leave room for question and answers. But I want to bring out some key things because I know these are things we face on like day-to-day, basis, especially when we're talking with prospects, leads, and all that. And I know your background, even from what you shared with us now. You've been in network marketing for 40 years. And this day and age, people hear network marketing and then they turn the other way and run because they feel like it's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, it's a Ponzi scheme or network marketing. They don't even want to hear it. Like the moment you tell them it's networking, they're out the door. They don't want to hear anything else. You want to stay. But you stayed the first 20 years in network marketing, even when things were not going well, when things were not working well, and you were, failing, trying again, failing, trying again, and yet you stuck with it till you finally found a magic 20 years later. I would want to say, why network marketing? Why didn't you just give up? Because even now in our business, we have people who are in it for like 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and they just like, you know what, it's not working, and then they just walk out the door and call it quits. But you stayed with it 20 years, trying, learning, growing, and then you found Energic. And now, 40 years later, you are a success and a sensation. I want to ask, why network marketing? I know you mentioned it, why, but for emphasis, I want you to like say that again.
Okay. I'm even going to mention names of network marketing companies. A lot of people mistake network marketing, like I said, like a scam. No, it is a valid way of distribution. Okay, and billions of dollars of sales between different companies. I started with Amway, and then I joined Herbalife, and they're billion-dollar companies. Actually, compared to these companies, our company is small, but
Mm-hmm.
we are big also. Uh, but it's harder to do business in their companies. But network marketing, uh, I learned this how it started many years ago, and there were really a lot of stories of like companies that were scamming before. But imagine, for instance, our company. We're a 50-year-old company. 50-year-old. We have 40 offices around the world. I mean, scams don't last long like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do sales. Our company owns country clubs in California, country club and golf course in Okinawa. We own schools, we own hotels, we own restaurants, we own like uh, I mean, we're a real company. We're a real business, and we make real money. Okay. I saw one of the question here, and when I mentioned I have 12 houses, and it says, "Price, sir, let us know, please." Okay. The house I have in New York, I bought this from a man in New York. That if you're a New Yorker, you mention the last name of that man, everybody knows him in New York. I don't want to mention the name. But I own the house that well-known New Yorker owns. I bought a house in Florida, same thing. This is a multi-million-dollar home that I live in. It's like a resort, you know.
Hmm.
in Staten Island, New York. Same thing in Florida. A couple of $1 million homes, and I own one of them by the water in Florida. So I have two oceanfront homes. The other homes prices about between $500,000 to $800,000. The other homes I have. In fact, I bought one house. I was doing a meeting in Florida and had so many distributor guests, and I needed a parking spot. And I just went across my neighbor because that house that he has, he only uses it when he wants to go fishing. He has another big house. So I said, I want to buy your house. And I know the house is worth 600,000. He wants $1 million for it. I said, no, that's too much. I said, 800,000. I pay you cash because I need a parking spot for my visitors. I pay you cash, $800. He still didn't sell it to me. He wants $1 million. So I bought the house like three houses away from him. I bought another one for 600,000 cash. Then I got an extra parking lot. This is in Florida. So like I said, this all came from this business.
Hmm.
Like I got a whole couple of multi-million-dollar properties from this
Hmm.
business. And last year, I purchased one in Okinawa. We are building a building by the ocean, and there's a penthouse at the top overlooking the ocean. And I purchased that penthouse, $1.5 million in Okinawa. That will
Awesome.
be my third oceanfront house from this business.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm sure a lot of us want to be like you right now. That is totally mind blowing. And I mean, from your story, you are definitely a go-getter. And like I always tell people, like you cannot come into this business without having that go-getter spirit. You must be driven, you must be motivated,
Mhm.
your mindset must be I want a change. And like you said in your story, you said you will do anything. Don't just put me behind a desk to do a 9 to 5 job. And I know
Yeah.
a lot of people who have stuck with that mindset, with that belief system, they went on to be a success story because they already know the limitation. And we're not like bashing 9 to 5 here. A lot of us 9 to 5 is like our stepping stone to it's like that job that we do to give us the seed, the money to invest to actually break out of that system. Howbeit, a lot of people stay stuck in that comfort zone, but your mindset was, no, I will do anything. Don't just put me behind a desk. And of course, I remember when we launched the True Health Lifestyle, and I was listening to your story. You said something, and that stuck with me till today. You said, yes, it was a funny story. You said your son said you're broke, like go sell go sell ice cream. I was hoping to hear that again. And and the response was phenomenal because you said, I'm not broke. I'm a rich, I mean, no, I'm not poor. Your son
I'm not
said you're poor, but
poor.
you said I'm not poor. I'm just a rich man that is broke. And that
Yeah.
is a whole different perspective. So I want you to like just, talk a little bit about that mindset, which would tie me to the next question that I have here that I wanted to ask. Um, how do you maintain your belief system during difficult seasons? Because when it comes to this business, we all know it's not always like a straight line graph that just goes straight up. We all have the ups and downs. There are moments when it looks like, oh, I am making this happen, it's working. And there are moments that you just hit rock bottom and you're like, maybe this is the end of the road for me. It was fun while it lasted. But for you, you kept going. So I want you to share more on that mindset and how you handle those difficult times.
Okay, that is even like another whole long story, okay? Because me being a Christian, okay, I'm a Christian. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ.
Same here.
Okay? I was just listening today, and I'm going to share it with you. Where when Jesus says, "My kingdom is not of this world," when he was being asked by uh, I think it was Hero or somebody,
I
Pilate.
think it was a pilot. Yes.
Pilate, I think, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what does this mean? There are two rules in this world. The worldly rule, which is the rule of this regular world, okay, which is like you have to be successful, you have to You have to like all the rules of this world. And then there's another rule. It's almost like magical. I'm telling you, it's a spiritual rule. If you follow, you're gonna get all the perks of that other rule, which is also on this earth, like the rule of faith.
Mm.
Like it says, as you believe,
Mm.
so shall it be done unto you.
Yes.
So whether you're gonna make it or not, like I was telling my sister-in-law, the reason why I believe she's gonna make it, and I'm gonna make her into a millionaire. I would love to see that day.
It's
Is
coming.
because she believes she can become a millionaire like me. Not
Mm.
everybody. I got other sister-in-law. I got other relatives and nieces and nephews. Nobody believed they could be like me. She believes if I teach her, she can be. See that faith? It's either you have it or you don't. That faith, that
Mm.
belief.
Mm.
This whole, if you see, for instance, I got all these images. You see a whole city. That whole city, all the buildings that stands there, came from the mind of people. It's all in here. You build it in here first.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So you will not become a multimillionaire unless you believe you can become a multimillionaire. Like I read
Mm.
this book, Think and Grow Rich. They say if you desire something, the reason why you desire is because inside you is the capacity to achieve it. Because you won't even want it.
Mm.
Okay, so make sure you have the want of becoming an extraordinary person or having an extraordinary success. Make sure you have that. Because if you don't have that, you're not gonna make it there.
Mm.
So right from the time I was young, I already know one day I'm gonna become a multimillionaire in America. I
Amazing.
know. I was probably 25 years old, and I was invited to this meeting of a guy in California who is a top networker, and I joined that company too for a while. And this guy owns this beautiful house on top of a mountain overlooking California. Beautiful house with a swimming pool and nice like big fish pond, with a bar in it outside and with 4 sports car on his garage. And I was a broke 25-year-old who don't even have a cell phone because I could not buy a cell phone. I don't pass for the $34 Nokia thing. My credit was so bad. But then I saw this man and I said to myself at 25 years old, one day I'm going to be like this man. I'm going to own a house like this. I have that faith, even when I was young. And he did it in network marketing. I'm going to learn I believe if I can learn it, then I can do, all I have to do, you just have to be willing to learn and make
Yeah.
progress.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to learn and spend time,
Mm-hmm.
put in the effort.
Yeah.
And sure
Uh,
enough, I became like that man. I have a house, not just one. I have one, two, three, four, like his house.
Amazing.
Then here's another thing. My son, the one who told me to when he was a teenager, and I'm his dad, and I was broke, and I was borrowing $20 from him. And he said to me, his name is Jason. He said, "Dad, why don't you drive an ice cream truck?" Because he's making money driving an ice cream truck. And I said, "No, Jason, why are you telling me that?" "Because you're so poor, Dad. You don't have money." You know. I said, "Jason, no. I'm not poor. I'm a rich man who is broke.
Yes.
I'm a rich man who is broke.
And that
I'm
was
gonna be
powerful.
I'm gonna be rich again. Because what happened was I experienced making money already, and then I just lost. I lost my sales organization. Everybody quit on me. The company like terminated me. I have nothing. So I'm temporarily broke. I'm gonna find another company again. I'm gonna make it. And I found this company and I did it. You have to have that faith. So that's that famous story came from.
Yes.
And
And
you know
that,
what
and
happened? That's that
mm-hmm.
son of mine who was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't want to go to college. He went to 1 year of schooling for becoming a mechanic, and he became a mechanic for a year. After a year, got married, got two children, and he told me that I owe $65,000 on credit cards. I'm married. I have two sons. I have no money. I don't know what to do. I cannot pay what I owe. You're gonna teach me what you do. So I taught him our business.
Mhm.
And he learned. My son, you know where he lives now? He lives in a house on top of a mountain, bigger than my house, $2 million home in California with palm trees and swimming pool and tennis court. And he learned our business from becoming a mechanic who's broke. It could be learned.
That is amazing. And I
Okay.
think I see him in the True Health lifestyle too, and I'm like, this must be the guy you were talking about. And now he's also in the business. I think the last I saw it was 62-3. Incredible, by the way. And that's something we all want to do. And it's leaving legacy for your children, like teaching them the way. And with this business, you cannot be successful in this business if you're not willing to learn, if you're not willing to be like teachable, because it's evolving. Like you said, there are different eras, the era of traditional marketing, where you're they moved into the era of social media, online marketing, AI era. And how do you see the AI transforming the future of business building, especially when it relates to network marketing?
Okay. Uh, I would say, okay, sign up to what's called Claude, CLAUDE.
Claude.
Because
Mm-hmm,
whatever you're doing now, it will make a lot of things easier. You can ask it anything. Okay.
mm-hmm,
uh 2 3 years ago, I heard from one of the top leader in our business that I should sign up to Chat GPT, and I did. Okay. Now, in AI, there are several levels of I would say proficiency. AI. A lot
mm-hmm.
of people don't know AI. AI will change the whole world in about 5 years. 2030. It's
Oh,
2026
it
now.
already it
20
already is.
it's happening already. Now, most of you, because you're just where you are, you do not feel it. Okay. Me, I have all the time to watch and read and watch YouTube video of this whole thing. So I'm aware, and also I'm able to travel around. I see the world changing. I'll give you an example. I was in Austin, Texas. I saw these cars. Why do they have this round thing at the roof? It's ugly. Apparently, they are self-driven cars. I mean, we take a taxi and we take Uber. You can be picked up now by a driverless car in some areas. You know, probably not in the city, but in Austin, Texas, where I went, I see them driving around. San Francisco. Okay, I believe I was somewhere in L.A. or San Francisco at the Embassy Suite, in the hotel, and I called the front desk. I said, I need some towels. You know, next thing you know, somebody's knocking at the door. It's a robot. Bring your towel. Like an R2D2. And then this robot walks like the hallway and took the elevator to another floor. I said, how do these robots know where to go? It's changing. A lot of people will lose jobs. They're losing already.
Oh yeah,
Uh, I was in
it has
Japan.
started.
Japan, you sit down in a Japanese restaurant and all the menus are Japanese, and you sit down and you take your cell phone and the QR code on the table, translate it to English. You buy your food from your cell phone, and a robot comes in, bring your food. After you eat, you pay with your cell phone at the QR code, and you walk away. There are no waitress anymore.
Hmm.
In some restaurant in Japan. At the airport, a lot of them are saying parking lot, everything is done on the cell phone.
Yep.
And I'm watching thousands and thousands of people are losing jobs already.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of jobs that are routine. I tell you,
Yeah.
even lawyers, accountants, doctors, like all those things. Probably not the brain surgeon, but
Oh, you'll be
and,
surprised. A lot of
and the
things is
plumber.
beginning to happen.
Yeah, but the whole world will change. The robotics is getting so advanced. What used to be just apps, they are now what's called AI agents. I could tell my
Mm-hmm.
AI agent, like I said, try. I went on a 3 day seminar with Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and then bought a boot camp thing, and they're saying you gotta learn Claude, CLAUDE.
Mm-hmm.
Watch a lot of YouTube video. It's gonna make your job a whole lot easier,
Mm-hmm.
especially in marketing. I'm telling you, you can go to this Chat GPT or Claude or Gemini and ask
Mm.
them. You can even ask about our company, and it will tell you. Like what any question you ask about selling and marketing, it's gonna teach you there. You can
Mm.
even tell them, okay, I got $10,000. What do I have to do to make this 10,000 into $1 million? What business can I do? What product can I sell? How should I do it? Or what should I post? It's gonna teach you everything. Make your
Mm.
$10,000 into $1 million because
That is
they
true.
already know all the knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Schools will be obsolete. Anything you can learn from a professor there, you could learn on a cell phone.
Yep.
Why go to school?
100%.
Why go to school? They said
100%.
that the new college degree is just you buy the this app called Claude and work your way up in that level of proficiency on how to use it, and you can make more money than a college graduate.
Awesome, awesome. It's all about learning, and of course, there's a lot that AI can do for us today in terms of automation. And the more
Mm-hmm.
you get involved with these AI tools and you keep prompting it, it starts learning what you want, and they become more proficient in the answers they deliver to you. So I think that's very, very vital and key. And of course, you mentioned Claude. I think Claude is like the newer version of ChatGPT, of course, by a different company,
Yes.
but it's more,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more like advanced, and it has all these plugins as well to other AI tools that you can use to generate a whole lot of things, create a whole lot of things. So you're very like right with that app. And of course, everybody should get Claude, sign up. It's free to sign up. You can always do a subscription if you want to. And like Mr. Rami said, it's all about learning. And there are so many things that we can learn from YouTube these days. Like they'll walk you through step by step. As much as we, uh, are open to learning, I think the sky would be the limit for us when it comes to this business. And of course, the floor is open to questions. People, if you have questions, please put it in the chat so that we can ask Mr. Rami. And while we're doing that, I just want to ask one more question here. So, Mr. Rami, what does legacy mean to you personally? I know we've talked about what you've been through, your journey, your success, and I know that your son is in the business as well. But for you personally, what does that look like in terms of, uh, you know, your success?
Yeah, I would say legacy means, for instance, in the Bible, in the scripture, it says, a righteous man leaves an inheritance to his children and his children's children. Meaning we don't only live for ourselves; we live for the next generation, in our bloodline, in our family, and it feels good to know that, like I said, I'm 70 years old now. It feels good to know that your children and your children's children, you have give them a legacy of having a good life, and they know
Mhm.
what you do and they do what you do and they would continue. Like, in fact, I have a son. There was a question here, apart from properties, how else do you invest your money? Okay. I have a son because I was so busy doing the business and earning the money. It came to a point where I told my son, like Jason, the one who told me to drive an ice cream truck. He's rich now too, you know. He's the one now who's learning a whole lot of thing about investments, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
he's the one who's telling me that this is how rich people do it. They make a trust and you put all your assets there, your real estate, your
Yep.
investments, your bank
Mm-hmm.
accounts, your savings, you know, and the family just draw funds from the trust. Okay, and that's he learns how to protect everything, you know. Uh, and that's the legacy. Like I'm so happy that my children have become even smarter than me on
As it should be.
how to preserve what I work for, you know, what we work for.
As it should be. And I think that's very important because a lot of people invest to acquire properties and all of these things, and they don't have the knowledge on how to protect their investment so that it's
Hmm.
easy to pass on to the next generation. Because a lot of people think, oh, they've invested, they've acquired all these things, and that's the end of it. And then when it's time for them
Hmm.
to pass it on, they just ineffectively just pass on debt to their children. And it's in recent times that I also started learning that there is something that you call a trust and all these things where you can put in your investment so that when you're handing it over to the next generation, they are not taking over or inheriting debt from you. They can simply just, access all of that investment and they enjoy what you have labored for and passed on to them. So
Hmm.
that I feel that's something very important that we all need to like learn also and acquire.
Yeah.
I
Like
think we also have a
my
yeah.
eldest grandson is 14
Mm-hmm.
years old. And like I said, he is very good at playing the piano.
Oh,
He
nice.
had an instructor who is like an Olympic winner or something who teaches him how to play the piano on an iPad. It's amazing. This music teacher knows how to teach people on an iPad and they become like Beethoven when they play the piano. That's why my
Oh, wow.
grandson is. He's been playing at the London Academy of Music. I've been there like twice already. And I'm going
Oh, wow.
again next week, you know, to watch him play. He's being invited. And in Paris, you know, he's gonna have a concert. He composed a music where the musicians in London are playing. 14-year-old. But then I also told him, you know, because I learned this from all these millionaires and multi-billionaires, billionaires on the internet, you know. And I told him too. That's so. My grandson, his name is Angel. I said, Angel, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, because I don't know if it's also true that see some say this is a very important thing. You should follow your passion. Okay, I learned you should follow your effort because you could be passionate about something and be broke. You know how many musicians are broke and they're
Hmm.
good at playing music? You think
Hmm.
that Broadway and Hollywood people have passion of becoming like stars, you know. How many broken dreams are there that they never made it to become Hollywood stars because there's only a little space if there's so many supply and the demand is little, your
Hmm.
chances of like you don't wanna be like a broken dream at that area. Okay, so I told my son, and he watched me enjoy life. My grandson, what do you want to be? Do you want me to teach you how to become a multi-millionaire? And he said, Grandpa, yes, teach me. I brought him to our meeting in California, and he heard on the stage all these online marketers in our business talking. And this 14-year-old kid was in front. At the end of the day, he said, Grandpa, how old do I have to be to join them? He wants to succeed already as a Kangen distributor. How do I? So now he's learning.
Oh,
I said,
wow.
okay, I'm gonna send you videos to watch, like Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, and I just watched this week an 18-year-old kid making $1 million a month online. Okay, I mean not in our business, in whatever he's
Mhm.
doing. like monetizing YouTube video and being able like see how I have 10 million subscribers on YouTube and I'm posting about 8, 10, the most probably is like 12 videos in one day. And I thought I was so great having able to post 12 videos in one day. I mean, who could make 12 videos in one day? I learned how to do it because I know how to use AI. You know, it's not me talking there. That's my AI. I tell them what to say. I just put the
Awesome.
script and it says it better than than me. And anyway, and then this week I was Gary Vaynerchuk, who is like multi millionaire, probably the number one onliner like coach in the world. But I never heard him say it until this week. And he asked the crowd, okay, how many of you posted like one video this week, you know? And people raised their hand. Okay, how about 5 videos? People raised their hand. How about 10 videos? People raised their hand. So I'm there, about 10, you know? And
Mhm.
then he said, do you know how many videos I posted yesterday? He said, 432. What?
How?
That's why
How?
he's a multi millionaire. He knows how to use TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and sell things.
That is
432 videos.
that is insane.
I couldn't believe it, you know. I gotta do it too. I'm gonna learn how to do it.
And like you truly said, you need to follow the effort. A lot of people have passion, but when you don't even have the means to pursue your passion, then it becomes difficult or near impossible, to even actually follow that passion. And a lot of people are broke trying to follow their passion. But when you have an established business like you do, and like you said, with this business, you can actually get to a point where your business becomes automatic. It runs on autopilot. You don't have to be all hands on. You can actually have all that time left for you to like pursue your passion, do all the things that you love to do because now you're not even worried about money anymore. Your business is
Yes.
running, the money is coming in. You're not tied to a desk or a 9 to 5. You have all the time and the freedom and flexibility. What else is there to do other than to pursue your passion? And you're already
Mhm.
putting that legacy, I mean, leaving that legacy for your children as well. Like I have my 5-year-old son here because he sees us do the presentation all the time, talk about the Kangen machine. Now he talks about the Kangen machine as well. He knows how beneficial it is to have a Kangen machine. I said, don't worry, you're my little business partner. And of course, as he gets older, he begins to learn more. And I think that's one beautiful thing we want to teach our younger ones, like to not focus on the system that we have been taught because a lot of us we were brought up to believe that the pathway is study, graduate, get a good paying job, and life is set, and that's it. But in recent times, things are beginning to evolve. People are beginning to realize that there is more to life than to just graduate and get a 9 to 5. I can't live life like I want. I have to take permission to even go on vacation. Even if I'm sick, I have to take permission. And you're not able to do the things that you truly love, and your time is capped, your income is capped, and there's only so much you can do. And I think that's what brought about the revolution of people looking elsewhere aside the 9 to 5 to try and create this life. And now we've seen people do it, break that limitation, make millions. I mean, you are a living example, and we're so privileged to have you here today. And I know that everybody can see themselves in your story and they can see what is possible. I mean, you've talked about lifestyle here, and I know all of us are aspiring to have that kind of lifestyle too, where we can just travel first class, business class, and live our lives, live our dream. And I think if there's nothing we're taking away from this Zoom, is to take away that there is a possibility outside of your 9 to 5 if you're willing to go for it. Like, how badly do you want to pursue your dream? How badly do you want to, realize this lifestyle that Mr. Romy has shared with us today? And of course, you also want to imbibe his mindset. the mindset of if I can envision it and work towards it, I can actually, see it materialize. And of course, that is something powerful that we need to take away. There is no barrier, there is no limitation. We've seen Mr. Romy, we've seen his background. You can relate that there is nothing extraordinary to his background that buttressed his success here other than his vision, his faith, and his passion. And he went all out. And now he is a sensation that we're all aspiring to be. So I think that's one thing I want us to like keep in mind here. And I think we have one or two more questions here. You mentioned selling on the stage. What sort of audience do you normally target to be able to sell?
Oh,
I'm not.
actually, when I was starting the business, I would say what we call selling from the stage is when I started doing one-on-one presentation in people's homes, and then that one person who purchased started bringing people into the living room, and then it becomes a group, and then
Mhm.
other people have other contacts, and it grew to restaurant meetings, church meetings, hotel meetings. It becomes bigger groups. Okay, so that old way of doing it, I mean, we just invite people who are looking for business. Okay, some
Mhm.
extra money. I'm always looking people who are looking for extra money. I was never like a product, I would say, salesperson where we have a lot of distributors who sells the benefits of the water. Okay. Every now and then I would encounter people who doesn't care about the business. But then when you talk about how the water is good and stories of people who had it or like myself, like I'm one of proofs of how good the water is. I got a lot of health problem. I used to have gout. I even have this problem in my skin here. I think it's called eczema, and it's starting to be bad. And the ointment, and I started dipping it on a acidic water. The 2.5, and
The 2.5,
it went
yes.
away. I learned it from a doctor who was using it on his patients, that had a lot of wounds. I'm telling you, we had a good product. I used to have,
Mm.
see, I'm drinking coffee. I used to be not able to drink coffee. 20 years ago, I keep having acid reflux. And I love
Oh.
coffee. And after that, it went well, and I'm drinking coffee again. All those things. I cannot drink wine. I cannot drink beer. And this water did me good. Now I can drink again. I mean, I don't get drunk, but every now and then. But I'm telling you, health wise, I feel healthier now at 70 than when I was in my 40s and 50s. I'm having all kinds of problems. I got sinus problems, high blood pressure. I'm overweight. Uh, so the product's good, but I'm always looking for people who would want to do business. Now in the online space is always the business, who wants to make money online and just stay
Mm.
at home and don't have to go to work, and you get a lot of people. Yeah.
So, what would you say to people who are always using the excuse of, oh, I don't know people, I'm not good with social media, like I don't even have a social media presence at all, and I don't know people, so I don't think this business is for me because they don't see themselves as succeeding because of that limitation, because they feel they don't know anybody, they don't have any social media presence or even platform. How do you respond to people like that?
Okay. I always say that we are not in the business of convincing people. We are in the business of sorting them out, so that there are
I like
people,
that.
you cannot change people. If they don't have the mindset that they can be successful, when there's nothing you can do for most of them, because they are already biased in their mind. The problem is not just intellectual, it's an emotional thing, and you cannot change that. It's like a person is left-handed and right-handed. You have to pick who are the left-handed. So it's like the in the gospel, in Jesus parable of the sower,
Hmm.
where you just throw the seeds.
Yeah.
Some seeds will fall on bad ground, on ground with thorns, or on
Hmm.
rocky ground. There's nothing you could do with
Yes.
people whose head is like rock, It's not
Exactly.
gonna, they're not gonna grow anything. And it has to grow on people with
Good
good
soil.
soil. So the good soil are the one that have the I would say the opening already, the mindset.
Yeah,
And
open
there are
mindset.
many
Yeah.
out there. Okay.
Hmm. And I think the key point to that, just like that parable that you use, is the fact that the parable of sow, he went to sow and he was casting those seeds, and of course those seeds were falling on different ground. So that goes to emphasize the consistency of constantly putting the word out there. If you're
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
constantly putting the word out there, how do you get those people that are actually ripe and ready for the business? So of course you will come in contact with people, like you said, their minds are closed off, they cannot see a way out, and there's nothing we can really do with people like that. But our job is to keep talking about the business, keep sharing the opportunity, and that is like you casting out your net into the ocean, or you planting seeds in a garden and hoping that at least one of those multiple seeds will definitely grow and yield fruit and yield results. So I think that's the key point there, to keep, you know, being consistent. And there was one more question I was gonna ask with regards to that. People often hear the phrase trust the process. And I know a lot of us have heard that, especially starting out in the business. And what does that consistency actually look like in this business? What would you say to that? Because a lot of people
Okay.
get tired when they keep hearing, oh, trust the process, trust the process. And they're doing everything they can, and it just looks like they're not getting a headway, or they keep hitting brick wall, or maybe talking to people, they will show interest today, they will fall cold by the wayside, and they're doing everything they possibly can to build their business. And it looks like they keep hitting a brick wall, and their uplines keep telling them, trust the process. Like, how do you
Okay.
then keep the people motivated and consistent in that
Okay.
instance?
That's a good thing. Trust the process, but you have to understand the process. Many people do not understand the process. And
True
I'm
that.
gonna give you an example. Remember, I said I always like to go on the water on my boat. Okay. And when the sun comes down, I have to go back to my house. I could see my house from afar, because I got the palm trees and everything, and there's my house, and there's a light, and I'm going that way, and my boat goes on that direction. Now, here's the process of you reaching your goal, because a hole between the wind and the movement of the water, and maybe the motor, your boat will keep going left and right out of the way. And the process
Mm-hmm.
is you have to adjust it, adjust it, adjust it. Like when you're driving, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
keep on adjusting, as long as you're making progress and you are learning and you are adjusting, you're gonna make it there. Okay, but you have to see that you are progressing, and you should be making some adjustment. It cannot be that, for instance, they're saying like stupidity is doing the same thing over and over again,
And
expecting a
expecting a
different
change.
result.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make some adjustment. If you're not making it, adjust again. I
Mm-hmm.
was listening to a guy who interviewed Elon Musk. Remember Elon Musk?
Mm-hmm.
He was asked, Elon Musk, you're so intelligent, you have all these things, like you plan, you have set goals, and you have the skills, and you have the intellect, and what is the core thing inside Elon Musk that makes it why you succeed? And Elon Musk says, it's my capacity to endure pain. I can endure pain than most people. Like he almost went crazy from stress, from having all kinds of like health, like I would say challenges.
Mm.
So most people give up when they are challenged. Okay, you have to know that you're not supposed to give up. You have to adjust until you make it. You have to be flexible. If you have to learn something, learn something. Like now, I said there's Chat GPT and there's Claude, and you can ask it, and
Mhm.
you'll be adjust. You can adjust what you're missing. I ask it for everything. You can always adjust. So that's the thing there. The process is being able to adjust, being flexible, being able to endure pain, and experiencing progress. Okay, now, sometimes it takes so long. Sometimes it's almost like impossible. But for some reason, there you have at the back of your head, you have that faith and that peacefulness where no, I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna have a breakthrough. It's like the boiling of the water, like you put fire underneath the water and it goes into different degrees and there's a particular degree. I know it's like 100-degree maybe, and it starts to
Mhm.
boil and
Yes.
becomes steam, but it reaches there. So you have to read books, again, inspirational videos. In my case, I
Mhm.
read a lot of success stories of biblical people: King David, King Solomon, Joseph, the Prince of Egypt, Moses, Abraham. The
Yes.
examples are all there.
Yes.
Or how they believe they can overcome and they can win, and they did. They win. But if you do not have that pattern, you don't know the pattern of the process, and then you're overwhelmed and you quit. You have to see the
That's true.
pattern.
That's true. And that's true. And of course, like you said, all these people you mentioned from the Bible, they all have challenges, difficulties that maybe an average human being would have walked away and given up, but they didn't give up. And at the end of the day, they are success stories that we talk
Yes,
about
success.
today. And of course, I always tell people to like our kind of business is a business of self-development. We have
Mm-hmm.
different ways to make it work in this business. Like you talked about, we have the traditional way, we have the online way, and now we have the AI way. I mean, if you're trying one way and it doesn't work, try another way. Sometimes it could be a combination of the different ways that you need to put together to actually see the results you're looking for. And just like you've recommended people for us to follow, one of them is the Jim Rohn that you talked about. And of course, we have other amazing network marketers because once what I realized soon enough joining this community, I realized that the way to go is the network marketing way. Our
Yeah.
business opportunity has the affiliate route and the network marketing route. But the smart people realize that for you to truly have passive income and that freedom, you need to go the networking route. And that's what I always tell people in my Zoom sessions that look, we focus on network marketing simply because it's the smarter way to build. And when you look at network marketers online, they have different experiences, things you can learn from, and they will always tell you something. Don't be discouraged when you get the no. Just see it like the no is like a stepping stone to climb higher and higher because with every no, you're getting wiser, you're learning more, and it's like the person that found electricity. He said he failed 1,000 times, but he didn't see it as failure. He found it like a thousand ways not to make electricity, and that is a mindset shift, just like Mr. Rami told us. So, with every obstacle we face in this business, it's the mindset conditioning that, okay, it's not working this way, then I need to try something different. And just like Mr. Rami used his example of steering the boat, you can see your destination ahead, and you know that you need to keep steering the boat straight. But the boat wants to go sideways. It's just driving on a highway with high wind. You can feel the wind pushing your car in the wrong lane. You need to keep steering to stay on the right lane for you to get to where you're going. Otherwise, you'll end up in a car accident or something like that. So the same thing goes with this business too. We need to like stay focused as long as we can keep that goal in mind. This is where our destination is. So everything we do, we need to keep steering our mindset, our emotion, our focus in that direction till we finally get to the one thing that actually works. And for me, that would be everything I have for Mr. Rami. I don't know if anybody has any other question to ask. I don't see any new questions in the chat here, and I think we have really taken a lot of Mr. Rami's time. I don't know if you have any
Okay.
last words for us, Mr. Rami, as a takeaway while we round up this Zoom session. Final
Okay,
words of
my
wisdom,
last,
encouragement.
yeah, last word. The way you will make a lot of money, okay, or succeed is in today's world, there's this thing called personal branding. Personal branding. Your name, for instance, my name, Romi Verdera, is all over the internet now. A lot of people are telling me, Romi, people really know you a whole lot more than you think they know you. You say, she say, I don't even realize it. And a lot of people are telling me that, okay? I have branded myself online. So your value to society today is kind of proportionate to your ability to connect to other people. And now, because of social media, they have leveled the playing ground now. Everybody could be a superstar and be known by a lot of people on social media. It used to be you have to be a celebrity, not anymore.
Mm,
You could be like I'm looking, for instance, uh, how I have 10 million subscriber. It grows to around 200,000 in the last month additional. Okay, and I could make it grow now that I heard that Biner Chuk post like 400 plus videos in a day. Maybe I could learn how to use AI to do that too. But you gotta learn how to project yourself to connect to people using social media. Watch YouTube videos about it or connect to an online system within our company. We actually have the EWS system now that also teaches you that.
mhm,
We didn't have that before, but keep watching the training on the EWS. Every now and then, my son goes in there and do the training also.
mhm.
Okay, do the training on EWS. I have a video there, I believe, But try to follow because you have to make yourself known. Because today, if you post something and you say, I have a good business, and do you want to join me? Give me your phone number and give me your email. I'll send you information. First thing people would do is, who is this person? Let me check who he is online. And then
Yeah.
they see you gotta make your web presence, your Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok good. Learn how to do it. Because when they see, oh, I like to follow this person, maybe I'll join his business, maybe I'll get information from him. But if you
Mm,
don't have that presence, that's the first thing that people do now.
yeah.
Like they want to know you, and the way they know you is they check the internet.
True that.
So learn that.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Mr. Rami. It has been such a pleasure having you on board. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, you have given us such wealth of information today that if we are all taking note and listen attentively, I think we have everything we need to equip us on this journey to become successful. The mindset, the passion, being focused, being a goal getter. And of course, you talked about, being on social media all the time with your transformational story. I mean, who doesn't love a transformational story? It is your transformation story that has brought us all here on the Zoom today. We want to see for ourselves, like, how did he start? Where did the change happen? What is the success? What is the outcome? And people love a good transformational story. It converts like crazy. And of course, we have all these tools available to us. We have the social media platform. And to the last point you just mentioned, it is all about personal branding. Like today, our social media, website, everything we have has simply become like our resume. People want to know about you. They want to know what you stand for. They want to know what you represent. It's like me applying for a job. If I don't put in my resume, nobody knows who the heck I am. And the same thing goes for us in our business too. People want to be able to connect with you, to see themselves in you and be able to relate with you. So the next thing is they hear about you, they want to go Google you up. Like, what comes up? What can they see? And if they see that, okay, this is somebody I can relate with, they want to follow you. They want to hear. And that's how we begin to build trust in the online presence. And all these things that you've talked about today are things that people package in courses and sell for thousands of dollars, and you have given it to us today for free. So I don't think we all have we all have excuse from now on. Somebody is asking, what is your YouTube channel name, please? It
Yeah,
will be
my
good to follow
name
you.
Romi Verdera, Romi, Romi, and then my last name Verdera, Verdera. So my Facebook is Romi
Mhm.
Verdera, my YouTube is Romi Verdera. I actually created a new YouTube channel called Romi Verdera Das 8 Principles. I'm gonna tell a lot of stories there.
Dash what?
Das
8?
DASH 8,
Mm-hmm.
like the
8
rank Das
principles.
8
Okay.
Principles. Yeah,
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think that will be something we will all like to follow. Please
yeah.
note that. So yes, in the absence of any more questions, I will hand it over back to our wonderful host, Miss Van. Thank you. You can take it away.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Dami, for a wonderful question to Romy. And thank you so much for your inspirational story, Romy. I think we have learned
You're
a lot
welcome.
from today. All of the journey that you have come from that 1A like us, and then to the Dash 8, the highest rank in energy, and all of the possibility that we can have with this business. It is wonderful. So thank you a lot, Romy. And
You're
for
welcome.
yeah. And for anyone who want to become a distributor, because I think that some of us also like a new people here, you can also keep in touch with the people who invited you to the Zoom today. And yeah, we looking forward to see you on in other Zoom sessions with us as well.
Mhm.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you
Romy.
so much, Mr. Rami.
Okay,
It was
thank
such a
you.
Have a
pleasure
wonderful
having you here.
Bye-bye.
Thank
have a wonderful
you.
day.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you
Mhm.
so much.
Bye.
Bye bye,
Bye
everyone.
bye, Avi.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.